It's finally June. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and corporations are doing their part to celebrate the summer by rebranding their logos for a month. It's become routine for companies to co-opt social causes like Pride Month for their own marketing purposes, despite a lack of long-term commitment to these issues. Is that really the best we can do? And why should corporations even care about social causes? Mass movements such as Fridays for Future, Black Lives Matter, and Me Too demonstrate public frustration at the lack of genuine business initiatives based on ESG, environmental, social, and governance criteria. Addressing these growing movements will increasingly become one of the key elements companies are judged on. How do corporations balance making profits with their responsibility for the well-being of the world? Corporate purpose is a company's reason for being. Historically, businesses focused on making a profit. But over time, corporate purpose has expanded beyond profit-making towards the inclusion of social causes. In 1919, the Michigan Supreme Court declared that companies must act in the interest of their shareholders. That is, companies need to make them money in return for their investments. But it was only in the 21st century that long-term environmental and social factors could explicitly be part of a corporation's purpose. However, there is a difference between having the ability to act for environmental and social reasons and actually doing so. We need tangible change. If a corporation is to survive and flourish today, it must find a better balance between profit-making and ESG goals. Consumers in today's society value more than just a good deal. They want to make sure their money is not just being used to line the boss's pockets. So how do they do this? Canadian law should require companies to draft their own social purpose statements. This would force companies to think proactively about ways to harness their assets and bring that purpose to life. Patagonia, an American outdoor clothing retailer, explicitly defines their goals to give back to the earth as much as they take, reduce their environmental impacts, and create equity for historically marginalized people. By legally requiring social purpose statements, even companies that aren't primarily focused on social causes would still need to consider their impact on society at large. Next, global, industry-specific ESG metrics should be developed and companies should be required to publish them. Scoring well on these metrics would incentivize investors to give their money to ESG-conscious companies. By looking at more than just a company's profitability, investors can see how sustainable a business will be in the long term. In the same way, companies that score poorly on ESG metrics should receive less public financing from institutions such as the Business Development Bank of Canada. If two companies are competing for a government contract, ESG metrics should be at the forefront of the government's decision-making. Furthermore, companies with social purposes should receive tax benefits. The Canadian Income Tax Acts should be amended to incorporate a special tax status for organizations that meet certain ESG criteria. Companies like Ben & Jerry's, who source their ingredients from fair trade resources, have to pay more to manufacture their products. Tax benefits would help alleviate this cost and reduce the pressure on companies who strive towards social goals. Finally, the idea of a purpose-driven economy should become an essential component of any business or legal education. Rather than confining this knowledge to highly specialized courses, ESG concepts should be taught to a wide range of students and professionals. Given that our world is increasingly progressing towards human-centric values, future professionals must understand what this means for law and business practices. Changing company branding for social causes must be accompanied by fundamentally rebalancing corporate purposes. For our recommendations to work, a broad societal shift in values from profit maximization towards social purposes is crucial. Canada must promote ESG goals by integrating a purpose-driven economic model within government regulations, public investments, and corporate culture. This will give corporations a leading edge while at the same time working towards a sustainable future for all.